The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly had wide-ranging impact. Among those feeling the pinch are local funeral directors and morticians who were forced to make some key adjustments. Our Lloyd Allen speaks with the local director.
Well, good morning, Macushla, and good morning, Bahamas. This morning, I'm at the location of Curtis Memorial Mortuary located on Robinson Road, and I'm speaking with Mr. Randy Curtis. He's the Public Relations Officer for the Bahamas United Funeral Directors Association. To date, we know that 11 persons confirmed dead as a result of COVID-19. And what does this mean moving forward for directors? Mr. Curtis is helping us to understand what those new protocols will look like.
Well, good morning. Thank you for inviting me. Let me say at the outset that the Bahamas is one of the few countries in the West where there are a cadre of professionally trained funeral directors. People speak about those on the front line. Well, funeral directors basically would be the head of the back line because we are the guardian of public health. And in this COVID-19 environment, there are certain protocols that we maintain. In fact, all professionally trained morticians understand the need for public health and sanitation. And so what you see here this morning are industry standards that we use in our industry. For us, our contact with a COVID patient is double. First, we would approach the remains at the initial stage of death, probably in an institution. In that institutional, for that, we have this type of PPE, which would protect us and keep us in a sanitized position so that we don't transmit anything going in to the location and bringing anything out. We also have the N95 mask that we use. For us, there are two types of masks that we would use. We have this type, and then once we would have reached back to our place of business, we've got this type of PPE, which is a complete covering head, foot, eye shields, and then we would use this type of mask. This mask would protect us from aerosolization, splashes, and any other vaporization that may occur. At Curtis Memorial, we have three types of sanitization. When we first approach the place of death, we would sanitize there, and then we have a personal sanitization for persons coming into our office, and in our prep room, there is another type of sanitation we use. The prep room sanitation would be basically for COVID and all other infectious and contagious diseases. Our industry has industry best practice standard. We have this is a 99% alcohol content. We have the 70% alcohol content because at all times we realize that we are the guardian of public health, and it's the public, and we're part of the public. And so our staff and our family has to be protected at all times. COVID does not mean you cannot have a traditional funeral. The Bahamas United Funeral Directors Association practitioners, we're all prepared and trained to deal with communicable and infectious diseases. We have industry approved training and equipment so that we can afford to all families traditional funerals to their liking, and we're trained to meet the needs of whatever desires family have for the memorialization of their deceased loved ones.
Now, Mr. Curtis, you talked about industry protocols. I know earlier when we started talking, you indicated that across the U.S. there are certain protocols that were long established before COVID-19, actually back from the 1980s when the AIDS epidemic first started, that allows funeral directors to properly handle these bodies that may be impacted by a virus, but also protect themselves.
Yes, sir. The initial protection would be your PPEs. For us, we have these type gloves that are basically removal gloves. We have the longer sleeve and the more thicker ones when we're doing our work in the preparation room. These and the type mask we wear gives us the comfort, and the proper usage of them will protect us and the public from the transmission of any communicable or infectious diseases.
Well, some great information there coming in from Mr. Randy Curtis here at Curtis Memorial Mortuary, talking about protocols for funeral directors as they deal with this COVID-19 issue here in the Bahamas and world over. Reporting for the Morning Edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.